Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. You know who it is, World of Wrestling. Here today to discuss about random wrestling talk, episode number 16. This is actually going to be directly about the women's division, Ember Moon, the WWE um cuts, releases, whatever the fuck you want to say. And basically, we get a total rundown this late last week. It was around Thursday and Friday. There's news that came out and about Amber Moon expressing and exposing WWE for their terrible, terrible business practices, which has been done many times before. Bottom line, I was really, really shocked at how awful this company has become. I mean, every single time somebody exposes WWE, they become more and more worse than they were before. I mean, if you look at the Good Brothers expressed their ideas and how they felt about the way they were being used on TV, and they thought it was absolute shit. Triple H came in there, did his part for good old Vinnie Mac to re-sign these guys because he knew for a fact they were going to go off and do something really good on their own if they went to another promotion. And he wanted to make sure they stayed with WWE. Ultimately, later on, firing these two men, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, um, and it cost them an opportunity to go AEW and the other Bullet Club members that they were with in New Japan Wrestling. So it made Tony Khan and the rest of AEW not really trust the Good Brothers, and they lost that. They pretty much burnt that bridge technically. Um, so that's one strike against WWE that really sucks. By the way, I plugged in my Ethernet cable directly from my modem into my computer. So hopefully the stream is coming in a lot better than usual. Let me hear you guys or what? Matt, am I coming in okay or what? I think I just cost myself a huge loss here. I just lost everybody. I don't understand. The moment I said, "Am I coming in okay?" the damn thing said I went offline. Um, did you guys? Well, is the stream coming in okay? Because it said that I was offline for a minute while I was doing this. Am I still coming in? Just okay. Anybody, Daniel, Matt, can you guys respond to my question? I can hear you clearly, hear you fine at the moment. All right. Was there a long pause or anything like that? Because I came in and it just said you're offline or some shit, and I just stopped working altogether. Okay, so I froze for a moment and now I'm back. Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine with me. As long as the damn stream comes in fine, I'm okay with it. I'm getting a little frustrated with these fucking streams where everybody else can have a perfect stream. My ass can't seem to get nothing. I got a newer computer. It works shittier than my older one, and the older one apparently, for some stupid warped out reason, had a problem just now and said I was offline. I have no fucking idea. Technology sucks, and yeah, that's how I feel about that. Anyway, let me go into this. This is about bullshit. What the fuck? Okay. I just disconnected the Ethernet cable from my computer, and it's showing I'm connected now. This is really pissing me off, man. I got an Ethernet cable that don't fucking work. I got fucking bullshit with this technology, man. This is bullshit, really. I'm sounding like fucking JD here. This is ridiculous. Trying to perform a fucking show for you guys, and I'm getting all these freaking issues. I go back, I watch these damn random wrestling talk episodes. They come in like shit. One minute I'm talking, the next minute I'm being cut off, and I'm on to the next subject or comment I'm saying in the fucking video. So I try to go ahead and do this with an Ethernet cable, and fucks it all up. The hell is this crap? What bullshit? Yeah, I know, Matt. I'm freezing up again because I had the damn Ethernet cable plugged into the computer, which is supposed to not happen. But apparently it did. Man, am I pissed off. It's bad enough this fucking company, WWE, continuously proves how fucking shitty they really are. And then I got my computer acting like a sorry son of a bitch and fucking up my show. God, am I pissed off right now. Jesus Christ. All right. Let me get into this fucking story already so we can get on with the show. Man, am I fucking pissed off right now. Jeez. Trying to get this fucking show better, and all it does is get worse. What a fucking load of crap. I love the interaction with you guys. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at this fucking technical crap. Bunch of bullshit. Holy crap. I put in listen to this. I put it on my cell phone. Ember Moon exposes WWE and it pulls up my show. That's awesome. I didn't think I'd actually come up. Holy fuck. That's cool as shit. All right. So let me go right into this this article about Ember Moon. So she's actually known as Athena, and she goes ahead and was released by WWE in November 4th of 2021, ending her 6 years with the organization. She's since wrestled for a variety of independent promotions, though she's yet to land in another major North American promotion such as All Elite Wrestling. I believe she should. AEW really should sign her. She is a great asset to the company, and she will definitely make the women's division better. And she deserves it because she was actually one of the better women out of NXT and wasn't utilized at all to her full potential in WWE's main roster. So I'll be honest with you. That's why this company is fucking garbage. And so many other reasons besides that. They don't give these people freedom of speech to be able to speak their own words to push a story along. Their job should be selling us and convincing us to invest our time in the story. That's how a company can judge whether or not those guys are getting over or not with the crowd. And apparently, for some stupid reason, they don't seem to care about that. And I got one question to you guys. Why then do they even have a show? Fucking camera. I hope I'm not coming across all fucked up the way I'm talking to you guys. But for some strange reason in my camera, I'm noticing I'm coming in like freezing up, shit like that. I don't know. Whatever, man. This is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, she pretty much states what the real reason is about the company. The problem is with people in this company are they're worried about the money, not worried about the art of wrestling. Now, they don't particularly see themselves as a wrestling company. Okay, Fine. You don't look at yourselves as a wrestling company, yet you do wrestling. You're a sports entertainment company. Okay, I get that. But back in the day, Daniel even states this in the chat. He says, I hate WWE's modern era. This is why I watch WWE. This is why if I watch WWE, it'll be on the network for the Attitude Era, much better than what we have now. Exactly. You want to know why, Daniel? The shows were much better. One, they didn't take everything so seriously. They had fun with what they were doing. They didn't make a mockery of themselves. They didn't make everything such a waste of everybody's time. They invested their time. They planned weeks ahead of the shows. They didn't wait to the last minute to make a script for a Raw or SmackDown episode. They had their things in place. They knew what to do. This company doesn't do any of that anymore. They do everything hours before the show goes on the air. You can't do that. You can't produce a show where you're not, coming up with the ideas weeks ahead or at least a few days ahead. They're not even doing that. They're not doing it week to week. They're not doing it month to month. They are doing it last minute, several hours before the show goes on the air, like 3 hours before the show goes on the air. I mean, give me a fucking break, man. How do you expect a company to flourish and people who invest their time in to get excited about the characters you're producing on the show when these people can't be themselves? Look at AEW. No, they don't have the ratings that WWE is producing. They're not getting 1.5s, 1.9s, 2 million views per week. But you know what they are doing? They are appreciating the fans. They're not making us feel like a bunch of fucking idiots while we watch their show. Yes, they make mistakes with producing the show. They make some flawed errors with their booking decisions, but they don't make us feel stupid. Every fucking time I watch this show, WWE's programming, I feel as if my brain cells are melting out of my head. That is not right. That's not how you treat your customers or slash fans, whichever way you want to use the term. But the reality is you're supposed to care about the customers. They're the ones that bring in your money on a week-to-week basis. The other things like the TV deals, the Saudi Arabia shows and all that, that's once in a while, every couple of years. We bring it in every fucking week and every single month with the pay-per-views. That is what we do. We used to bring it in with the pay-per-view buys as well. That's where you got your fucking money. Now, you're getting your money from outside sources, such as streaming deals and Saudi Arabia and TV deals and all that. And sooner or later, folks, it's all going to come crumbling down. And I have already stated this. After WrestleMania 39, folks, WWE will be gone. At least not in the hands of Vince McMahon anymore. He'll sell the fucking company off to somebody else. But this company is worse than WCW 2000, man. This is pathetic. And they continue to get worse and worse and worse. I think this is the worst fucking year I have ever seen WWE in ever in my life. And that's pretty fucking sad. Because bottom line, guys, I'll be honest with you. I would take WCW now from 2000 over what we watch on a day-to-day basis. I would fucking do that in a heartbeat, man. In a fucking heartbeat. Because this show, it's just sad to watch. You can look at the talent. You can see the phony baloney smiles on their faces, or it's a bunch of shit. I mean, I'm listening to JD's review on SmackDown this past Friday, and he's talking about Raquel Gonzalez. Oh, whoops, I made a mistake. Vince McMahon don't think it's good to use their real last names or real first names or both. Why? It's who the fuck they are, you fucking brain dead old man idiot. And then you got Johnny Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard. Why? You got Johnny on one end, on the left side of Vince's balls, sucking on that, and you got Bruce Pritchard sucking on the right ball. That's what these two fucking assholes do. They suck on his balls. And then you got Kevin Dunn with his beaver teeth sucking on fucking Vince's dick. All right. This company, I'm sorry I'm fucking up what I'm trying to say, but bottom line is this company don't give a fuck about you, don't give a fuck about me, don't give a fuck about the damn performers even. They don't care about nobody. You think Roman Reigns is going to stay with this fucking company next year? This guy's on his way out. He is fucking going to Hollywood. He's joining up with The Rock, and that's that. And I guarantee you, The Rock will not fucking join this damn shit. I mean, I know he advertised himself and Roman to maybe have a future match at WrestleMania. But let's be real. How the hell can The Rock even want to join this catastrophe of a fucking product? This is a complete nightmare of a company, man. Maybe 5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago even. But now? Oh my God, man. I wouldn't do shit with Vince. He makes these people look like fucking idiots, and I'll tell you why. Based on what Amber Moon's comments with Chris Van Vliet's Insight podcast, I didn't actually get to hear the actual podcast. I was going to, but I ran out of time with work and everything. And I wanted to do other things besides listen to a podcast about Amber Moon. But I did read the information. And I also heard JD's viewpoint on this past Saturday. I just can't believe it. And all you guys who defend Triple H should be fucking astonished by all this. Triple H should be mad than anyone else in this company. He should be looking at Vince and saying, look, you're my father-in-law. I love my wife. I love my kids. I'm not going to fuck you up in your business because that would be something personal. That ain't business. That's me doing something personal. I don't want to do that. I have too much respect for you. But what you're doing is wrong. I can't stand by it. See you later. I'm retiring. I'm going to spend my time with my wife and my kids. That's what he should be focusing on. Not this fucking piece of shit product. You got guys like The Rock, like Daniel just said. He said, Daniel states in the chat, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Kane, Undertaker, Foley, even China. Everyone was fantastic during the Attitude Era, and now they only care for Charlotte, Roman Reigns, and Becky Lynch. That is 100%, Daniel. 100 fucking %. No doubt about it. Look at all the people Daniel just listed in the fucking chat. If you're here live. And if you didn't, I'll repeat it again. Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's one. The Rock, Triple H, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Kane, Undertaker, Foley, even China, he says, was better than what we have now. That is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people. And that isn't even counting some other talents, such as Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Batista, Randy Orton. Randy Orton is now made to look like a fucking putz with Matt Riddle. They should be doing this fucking unification match this coming Sunday, and we're getting some load of bullshit. A load of fucking bullshit with a 6-man tag team match. I don't know. They all have titles, except for Drew McIntyre. Why aren't we just doing a winner-take-all match with all the titles on the line? If Drew McIntyre's team wins, they win all the titles. If Roman Reigns' team wins, they retain all the titles, plus get the Raw tag team titles unified with the SmackDown tag team champions. Matt 87 Eagle even says John Cena. Yeah, I forgot even John Cena. John Cena is another fucking name that has been one of the biggest names going in the fucking business. I wasn't always a fan of John Cena. There was moments where I got tired of seeing him, but most of my time seeing him wrestle, I loved John Cena. I just didn't want to see him in the world title picture every fucking month and every year. I wanted to see him do some other things, help some young stars get up. They did that with him later on in 2014, 2015. They did the right thing with him. So there you go. Ghost Shadow, he says, "What's up? What's up, Ghost Shadow? World of Wrestling." He says, "World of Wrestling, keep speaking the truth, brother. You got it, man. I always will here on the channel. I may not be the best in the world. I may not have the best freaking technology and equipment that I use, but I speak the fucking truth on this channel, and I speak it full-heartedly. And if you would want to rewind it back, you'll hear how fucking mad I was because I used an Ethernet cable and the damn thing went on the fritz for me. And everybody said I was frozen for a few minutes. What a fucking joke. So, let me just go a little further with this, all right? So, while speaking to Chris Van Leet on the Insight, the former NXT Women's Champion held nothing back as she discussed her time in WWE, noting that they never gave her a reason to want to stay. After mentioning that she maintained a close eye on proceedings at AEW, Amber Moon remembered a time when WWE superstars weren't even allowed to mention the company backstage. Are you kidding? They're not allowed to mention the company backstage? What a fucking joke, man. What a fucking joke. Anyway, this is what she says in the quote. She says, "I was seeing everything going on at AEW and I was like, that looks fun. That looks like what I thought I was going to do." Yeah, well, you were sadly mistaken there. So for a while we couldn't even talk about it backstage because they were like, you shouldn't be watching the competitor. What? That's like, that's funny. That's really funny. WWE says some kind of shit like that. That's like telling WWE back in the day in the Attitude Era that that's like telling WWE back in the day to not watch WCW and see what they're doing on the other show. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? AEW really ought to go ahead and expose the fucking WWE even more by releasing information for results on programs that are taped. I mean, seriously, that would be fucking hilarious. But that wouldn't be AEW. That's not their style. But I just to be a fucking prick, really, to be honest with you, I think they're fucking ridiculous. Jeez, telling this woman she's not allowed to watch the competition. Wait, I thought AEW wasn't competition at all. What a joke. This company, man, they say, oh, AEW ain't competition, but then they say don't watch the competitor. What the fuck are you talking about, you hypocritical pieces of shit? What the fuck? This is fucking funny. Oh, shit. So I was like, how do you expect us to outshine them? That probably put her in the hot box. I mean, seriously, that put her in a fucking hot box, man. She probably was castrated beyond belief. They probably like, all right, she wants to talk smart. She wants to ask smart questions and be a smart ass. All right, we're going to make her fucking miserable and tear her limb from limb, booking wise and creatively. That's what I think happened here. Based on that comment, how do you expect us to outshine them? Well, no shit. Especially NXT really should have been paying attention and see what the hell they should do to outdo them in their fucking product. And Vince should have been able to produce better stars with NXT and keep them just the way they were with Triple H. That's all he had to do. And NXT would have succeeded against AEW, or at least been competitive and not get their asses kicked by AEW. What a fucking joke, man. So it was different because I wasn't watching for film. I was watching because I was envious of what was happening there. She was envious of fucking AEW. I don't believe it. She's fucking envious of AEW. Not that I blame her. I don't blame her one bit, especially the way NXT is now. Holy shit. I wouldn't dare watch NXT now. I could watch it anytime I want. They have it on Peacock immediately after the show goes off the air the next day or some shit like that. I haven't watched a single episode since Karrion Kross got pinned by Jeff Hardy. I stopped watching them before they turned into NXT 2.0. They're fucking shit. This company is garbage beyond belief, man. I just don't understand how my channel and views has gone down since I stopped reviewing WWE content. It is just annoying that this channel has lost its viewership because of that. I don't understand how you guys would want me to continue to watch this shit, doing it for free and being bored out of my fucking mind outside of hearing me bitch and complain like I'm doing right now. And I know I do good rants, but let's be real, guys. How many times do I got to keep repeating myself till it becomes annoying and downright fucking boring? I don't know, man. It's just, I've gotten tired of talking about it, but listening to some of the shit that's going on since I stopped watching it after WrestleMania, it's gotten even worse. I don't know how the fucking you go ahead and you fucking do this shit. How can you make your show worse than it already is, man? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? So she goes on and she says, I would text Dustin, Cody's brother, on occasions, and he would respond back. I'm surprised WWE didn't look at her and say, you're not allowed to talk to anybody from AEW that you know. What a fucking joke, man. So, and he would respond back, we sure are having fun over here. I see that you're having fun, Dustin. How are you? How is life? Don't rub it in. I mean, come on, man. I can't disagree with her, man. This is terrible. So, Ember Moon's last match for WWE came on October 5th edition of NXT 2.0 as she lost to Toxic Attraction's Mandy Rose. Her first match back on the independent circuit came this past February as she challenged AEW's Thunder Rosa for Warriors Wrestling Women's Championship. Just to break this down a little bit more and, go over some of the things that she said. She said that now the women in the back are required to wear sexier clothing, more exposed skin, and just basically not caring about the wrestling, but just caring about your looks. I don't care about their looks. If I'm looking at a hot looking babe as a wrestler, okay, what am I going to do with that? Can I have sex with it? Can I have sex with her? Can I ask her out on a date? Am I going to do anything with her? No. So what is the fucking point of worrying about how they look? I don't care about how they look. I care about how well they can do their art, their job at producing a good wrestling show and giving me a match to remember. That's what I care. I don't care about their fucking looks. Do I want them to look presentable? Yeah. But I don't need to see their fucking skin exposed, looking like they're fucking cheapskate whores. These are women. They don't need to be treated like fucking prostitutes. What is this, a fucking escort service or a fucking wrestling company? You fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here with this crap. Jesus Christ, man. All right, let me get into some of the comments that were made. I do apologize. I know I'm going on a long vented rant here about WWE and how they treat their women's wrestlers, but I'm sorry, guys. It has to be stated. And you guys apparently agree with me, because if you didn't, you'd be leaving. But I've been able to hold a viewership on this video pretty well. Anyway, Ghost Shadow states that WWE is nothing but lies and empty promises. No shit. The Good Brothers learned from that. No fucking doubt about it. They definitely learned from that, man. Daniel says, I feel bad for her for putting up with this company. I don't blame her at all for feeling the way she felt either. Daniel, I feel 100% the same way. I think what they did was absolutely horrible. Matt87 Eagle states it's the AEW effect. I guess it was you were referring to when she was trying to watch AEW. They were worried she was going to jump ship to the other show, which is going to happen probably at some point. I don't see why Tony Khan would pass up Amber Moon, now Athena, and let her not join in with this women's division. This women's division really could use her help. I think they produce better matches. I think they care more about the women. I mean, they need to give them maybe 2 matches per show instead of just 1. I think that's the one thing that they're messing up on, in my personal opinion. WWE does give them the women multiple matches on a show, but let's be real. The matches don't last but maybe 2 to 3 minutes. That's not a match. That's a fucking joke. That's just saying, here, we're going to throw you a bone here, give you some air time just to do some stupid moves, and then do your roll-up pinfall for the victory, and that's how the show, your match is going to end. Enjoy. What the fuck? Anyway, Daniel goes on to say, I'm still here because I'm loyal, a loyal subscriber. I love your content. I greatly appreciate that, Daniel. You're always, praising my work, and I greatly appreciate that for your loyalty and dedication to the channel, and wanting to see me succeed, and I greatly appreciate that. Matt87 Eagle says, I'm surprised WWE doesn't screen the wrestlers' texts and tweets. Shit, man. What, they really ought to turn, they really ought to make Vince McMahon take over Russia. They ought to get Putin out of office, put Vince McMahon in office for Russia as the president. He'd be great for that. He loves to micromanage everything. So does Putin. Putin is also a fucking murdering, killing son of a bitch, and a real sick, twisted fuck. Vince ain't no different. I just don't think Vince has got it in him to kill a bunch of innocent people. Thankfully, he's got some sort of soul left in his body. But still, man, the guy's a fucking micromanaged, egotistical fucking maniac, man. The guy is crazy. You're not allowed to watch this. You're not allowed to watch that. They're not the competition, but you're not allowed to watch the competitor. What? What the hell are you talking about, man? You're not allowed to watch the competitor. I mean, okay, but you're going online and telling people they're not competition. They're nowhere near WCW's competition to you guys back in the 90s. I swear to God, I feel like throwing this fucking headset across the room because I can't believe the fucking commentary that's being made here. Holy shit, man. I just don't understand this. This is just crazy. It's really fucking crazy. But let me go into oh yeah, there was a few other comments here. Sorry. Matt87 Eagle also stated that what is this? The Diva Era 2.0? Yeah, man, apparently so. I don't know what it is, man. Pretty fucked up. Daniel also states that Vince Sr. would be rolling in his grave over this terrible downfall of WWE. Oh, yeah, I've said this 100 times. If Vince McMahon Sr. knew what his son was going to do at this company in the future, if he was Notre Dame, he'd say, fuck you, kid. Get the hell out of my office. You're not working here. You're fired. Bottom line, that's what he would fucking say to the guy. He wouldn't give that kid. I'm saying Vince McMahon Jr. is a kid, but back in the day, that's what he was compared to his father, of course. But yeah, I mean, if I was Vince McMahon Sr. and I knew what this fucking spoiled little son of a bitch was gonna do at my company that I built up and made an actual sport out of, it looked like a real sport, folks. Yeah, it was fixed, but it felt like a sport. This man doesn't make this like a sport. He makes it like a 3-ring fucking circus. Who the fuck does that? Except a brain dead mental case who belongs in a straitjacket in a padded room somewhere. What a dumbass. Son of a bitch. All right, let's go into the WWE releases. Now, some of these releases I don't particularly care for because I'm not too familiar, but a lot of them had a lot to do with the new NXT that we see on a week-to-week basis now on Tuesday nights. Not that that really matters. Who gives a shit? All right. So let me go ahead and take a look here at the WWE releases for 2022. All right. So we had Dakota Kai. We had Dakota Kai released. We had Malcolm Bivens. I've heard of him, but not too familiar with his work. Dexter Loomis. How the fuck? Oh my gosh. This is the biggest mishap. I just cannot understand. How the fuck can you get rid of Dexter Loomis? Dexter Loomis was one of the most creative promos in the business of all time. He went by Sean Shaw in TNA. He played a sick, demented fuck who was a sexual deviant type of thing. That's what he played. And here, as Dexter Loomis, he did something outrageous. He did something outrageous. And Matt, you can tell me about how he's pushing for. I don't give a fuck. How in the world? I can understand them wanting to get rid of some of the talent they might have that are nearing 40. But when you got a guy like Dexter Loomis that can give you promos without saying a fucking word, giving you drawings and very artistic drawings, may I add, to tell a story, that is fucking gold. That is new. That is fresh. That's something you don't see on a regular basis. Just like The Fiend was something you don't see on a regular basis. They let go of talent that they shouldn't let go at all, man. Dakota Kai would be a great asset to the SmackDown women's division. They ain't got fucking nobody on there. They got Shotzi Blackheart, and they don't do anything with her except make her lose on a week-to-week basis. I mean, give me a fucking break. Daniel says Loomis should go to Ring of Honor or somewhere else. Hey, it is what it is. Oh, yeah, and Matt87 Eagles corrects me here. Dakota Kai refused to resign, so they let her go. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I apologize. But here's the thing. If they actually would have cared about her, listen to what I'm saying, folks. If they actually would have cared about her, she would have resigned because then she would have felt confident enough that her booking and her creativity would have been used properly. Does that make logical sense? I think it does to me, at least. But who knows? Maybe I don't know logic. Maybe Vince knows all the logic. Maybe he knows all the fucking logic, huh? Yeah, Vince has a lot of logic. You fucking advertise a match between the SmackDown and Raw Tag Team Champions, have a unification match, and then not have the match be booked. And you have a 6-man tag team match with no titles on the line. That is like, you know what they should have done? They should have done that same thing with WrestleMania. They should have had Randy Orton and Matt Riddle and Brock Lesnar team up in a 6-man tag team match against Roman and the Usos in a non-title match for the main event of WrestleMania. What in the fuck is this guy thinking? I'm just trying to figure this out, and I'm going, what? Now I got to sit on my Sunday night, 3 hours. I'm going to have to watch a show without a major main event. This match shouldn't even be the fucking main event of the show. It should. I'll tell you the match that should be the main event of the show. Fucking Cody and Seth Rollins, because I think they're going to tear it up again. Now, granted, who wins and who loses, I don't know, and I'm not going to, try to figure it out because there's no fucking point in doing so. Because at the end of the day, whatever we say ain't going to matter. So who gives a shit? But bottom line, I know Cody and Seth Rollins will produce a good match, and probably the only match worth watching outside of maybe Edge and AJ Styles in a rematch. But then again, who the fuck knows on that? All right, Matt, I know Strong has been demanding a release, but because WWE doesn't want him to go to AEW in 30 days, they say they have big plans for him. Yeah, they got big plans for him. It's called catering with Titus O'Neil and Dana Brooke. Maybe he can fight over the 24/7 championship. Why wouldn't that be fun, huh? Oh, yeah. What a fucking joke, man. You gotta be kidding me with this shit. Big plans being a name. Yeah, he's gonna be called Mr. Strong. I wouldn't be surprised they change his name to Mr. Strong. Holy shit. That actually might get over. You never know. Mr. Strong, I mean, I don't know. But look, bottom line is this guy is way too talented. I'm not saying he's Mr. Main Event, he's a world champion in the future type of guy, but he is definitely a Dean Malenko type wrestler. This is a guy that you could put in the mid card and make something out of it and use him to help produce new stars on the main roster. I guarantee he'd be able to help produce a lot of good future stars in the mid cards portion of the shows. Guarantee you. But of course, as always, WWE micromanages everything and doesn't allow anyone to do their fucking job. Kind of like the creative writers that they have. Why are they still hired? I have no idea. Go ask Vince. Go ask Bruce. Bruce seems to be the only one with any creative power in the company. But at the end of the day, it's still approved by Vince McMahon. See, if Bruce Pritchard comes up with an idea, this is how it goes off in the boarding room. See, all their 60 to 90, producers and writers and all that, you know what they do? They Vince tells them all to go home or go somewhere else. Me and Bruce got something to talk about. Okay. So he's like, Bruce, sorry, I fucked up. I fucked up. He goes, Vince, I got a great idea. And Vince goes, what's that, Bruce? What are you gonna do? What kind of idea you got? I got a great idea. Let's go ahead and make Roman Reigns not defend the defend the WWE Universal Championship, and nor the Usos defend their tag team titles along with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Gee, I don't even know the fucker's name. I've been smoking blunts out my ass. And then Vince goes, why? That's a beautiful idea. We got people thinking they're actually going to get a match where they're going to get a world championship match. Why, this is brilliant, Bruce. Now, get on your knees and suck my dick. Why, certainly, Bruce. Certainly, Vince. I would love to. You know I love you. And that's how his ideas get pushed past Vince McMahon, and it's approved. Thank you, and have a lovely day. But yeah, that's what good old Vince does. He makes Bruce get on his hands and knees and suck those old shriveled up raisins that he calls balls and his shriveled up dick. That's what he does on a week-to-week basis in the boarding room when they're planning out ideas for a wrestling show. Give me a fucking break. All right. Anyway, let me move on here. They had Harlan. Don't know who the hell that is. Persia Parada. Don't know who the fuck that is. Sanjana George. Draco Anthony. Mela Mulaney. Raylan Devine. Paige Pravalini. Vainly. I'm mispronouncing the last name. I'm totally fucking it up. And they've already listed Dexter Loomis. So yeah, those are the people that they got removed from their roster. What a fucking joke, man. But yeah, that's what they have removed from their roster. So anyway, there's one other story I'll get into in just a second. After I read this one other comment by Matt. Matt says, I want to know what the hell happened to Nakamura after WrestleMania. Well, they figured by having Roman Reigns and the bloodline just beat the living shit out of Nakamura, that would be suitable enough to the fans that they don't need to see him anymore since they don't have good old Rick Boogs performing because he has a severe knee injury. So they decided to take him off the take him off of television completely. That's all that was. That was not to build a match for Nakamura to have a match with Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Not that wouldn't be a bad idea. And something a little bit new. I don't think Roman Reigns has ever faced Nakamura in a legit match that meant something in a storyline build. But hey, it is what it is, Matt 87 Eagle also states, if you don't know, then they must have sucked on NXT 2.0. Well, that's great. I don't really care because in reality, they never get a true opportunity to see whether or not they will sink or swim. Again, micromanaging somebody in this type of environment of work is not a good idea. You cannot micromanage performers to deliver a good show if you're not giving them the freedom to use their artistic ways of thinking of it on their own and selling the audience on it. If you're not allowing them to do that, then what's the point of them being there in the first place? I just don't understand. Again, I've been saying this for years. If you micromanage and prevent people from saying their own words, then they are not going to be able to give you their best foot forward. They're going to have to memorize lines. Let's be honest. Unless you're an actor, like John Moxley said to Vince, he said this, I think to Vince or another producer. He said, look, I'm a wrestler. I'm not an actor. You need to get an actor to do this type of role. I'm not here to memorize lines. I'm here to give you good matches. People want to see me wrestle. They want to see me entertain with my wrestling. The rest of it with the talking, they should give him a bullet point of what he needs to say in the fucking promo, the direction they want him to go with it, and let him do the rest. Not to mention, it gives the writers a hell of a break from having to write all the lines that a fucking performer has to say. I mean, it makes sense to me. Again, I think I'm making perfect logical sense here. But then again, who the fuck knows? I'm just a guy behind a fucked up webcam that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't with a really cool, podcast microphone. It sounds good, but the camera absolutely sucks. But anyway, my point being here is if you're going to micromanage a wrestler, get a fucking actor. Don't get athletes. They're not going to do the job well. Get a Johnny Depp. Get a Leonardo DiCaprio. Get the people from the Avengers like Robert De Niro. Not Robert De Niro. Well, yeah, Robert De Niro is a great actor, but he's too fucking old to do this kind of shit. But Robert Downey Jr. and other people like that to do these roles. Come on. Are you fucking crazy, man? You're going to micromanage these people and expect them, okay, now you go out there and you do it good. I'm going to do it good when you're telling me, say this, this, and this. I'm going to memorize all the shit in less than 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck are you people doing over there? You look at AEW, Eddie Kingston every fucking week, man. This guy may be fat. He may be out of shape wrestler, but he gives us the best fucking promos on the show. I don't care what anybody says. Eddie Kingston is the best promo guy in AEW today. Nobody can debate that with me. I will not listen. Eddie Kingston has produced great promos among many different superstars since he came to AEW. Jon Moxley, fucking CM Punk of all people. CM Punk and him had a great promo, and they talked reality between the two of them. Him and Chris Jericho, great promos. This past week, he cut a fucking awesome promo. May not have been anywhere near CM Punk, but it was fucking great promo anyway. This guy has given us great promo work every single program he is in. Every one of them. Enough said. I mean, a guy who's out of shape, not the greatest wrestler in the world, but he can give you the best promos out of anybody in this business today. The only one I would say is probably does it better is Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan is a crazy son of a bitch. And he gives people good promos too. So, and these guys are not told what to say on a mic. They give them a direction to go and they do it. That's it. They use their own fucking words. That's all they got to do. Instead, they make this shit harder than it needs to be. Plain and simple. All right, last thing I'm going to say here, and then I'm going to close up shop here on the live stream. I could not believe what I read earlier this morning. MJF is at it again with his crazy fucking gimmick and pretending he's going to go to WWE. He went ahead and he stated this. He stated, I'm not in it for wrestling. I'm in it for the money. And he says, hey, if WWE wants to give me more money than what Tony Khan can offer me, I'm going to take it. If these words are true, which I don't believe they are, I would hate to think that he'd be that fucking stupid. I think he's just using this as a ploy to get Tony Khan to pay more money than he can imagine when his contract's up, which I believe he said is in 2024, I believe. And when that contract does end for MJF, I would give MJF whatever the fuck he wants. The only thing I will say and criticize about MJF lately, and this might be just the booking end of things, not his fault, but more Tony Khan's fault, they need to stop doing the repetitive storyline deal where they're making MJF as the big boss and the opponent has to go through a list of guys to get to the big boss at the end of a video game type of mentality. That is the only bad thing that is going on with MJF storylines. They need to do something different with him. But other than that, MJF has been excellent. The guy cuts beautiful promos too. He's second best in promo work. Wrestling, he outdoes Eddie Kingston by a country mile. But bottom line, I will say this. MJF really knows how to get over with wrestling. This guy plays the part. He acts the part. He is the fucking part. I think this is truly who he is in real life. I don't think this is an act. I think this is who he is. And I don't think he cares what anyone thinks. I don't think he cares what I think. I don't think he cares about what the fans think. He may appreciate the fans for helping him get where he is and all that. But at the end of the day, the only thing he gives a fuck about is keeping a roof over his head and continuously giving himself the money he believes he deserves. That's it. And that's fine. As long as he cares about giving us great shows with AEW, as long as he's there, I hope he doesn't leave, because if he does leave, he is the biggest fucking retard I have ever met in my life. And if he wants to go to the enemy, by all means, go there and see how terrible it is, because you won't be able to be MJF anymore if that's the case and that's what he chooses to do. I hate to think that he would do that. So that's just my thoughts on that. Matt87 Eagle says, of course it's a play. The last time we saw MJF in WWE, he was getting slammed into a wall by Samoa Joe playing a security guard. Really? I didn't know that. That's a new one to me. So he was in WWE a couple of years before he joined AEW, huh? Well, that sounds like great treatment. I'm assuming that he would definitely want to go back there and be made to look like a fucking jackass. Kind of like how good old LA Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake. Eli Drake, man. I stated this years back when he was going by Eli Drake in Impact Wrestling. I said he was the franchise, the guy that Impact Wrestling should never let go. Help him get whatever money he's looking for. Keep him with the company, keep him happy, and don't let him go. He is a franchise player, especially for Impact Wrestling being a small promotion. And they let him go because he didn't want to resign, probably because they didn't have the finances to keep him. Now he's working in WWE and they want him to be a fucking manager, which, by the way, folks, we have not seen him on television outside of hearing the news that he was on a dark match being a manager to Mansoor, I believe, or Mace. Like, who the fuck cares, man? This is not going to get over at all. And it's a real fucking joke that this guy is taking his talents, replacing what Adam Cole would have done for Keith Lee, and now he's doing it for Mace instead. LA Knight, I mean. So that's all they were looking for. They were looking for a guy that was really good on the mic and taking him out of the wrestling ring just to have him be a fucking manager. That's all they were looking for. Adam Cole was great on the mic. He could talk his way out of a paper bag. He could do everything and sell you on everything he was offering. He had all the personality in the world. And they said, well, we need a manager. Let's use him. Cut his hair, make him look a little bit more presentable, all that good stuff. And then push him into a manager position and change his fucking name altogether, eliminating everything that made him Adam Cole, baby. So there you go. That's what they're doing with LA Knight. Only they don't have to change his name. They don't have to cut his hair, change his look, or anything like that because he already looks the part of a manager. They just want him to just be a manager at this point and never step foot in a ring to wrestle. I don't know why they wouldn't want him to wrestle, but he gives on good shows. I've seen him wrestle before. He's very entertaining, and he's great on the mic. I don't know. Whatever. This company is fucking joking. I hope they go out of business next year. Anyway, Daniel, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to head on out and close up shop here. Daniel says, do you think Cody would be in 2K22 as a DLC before they work on the next game or no? No, I don't believe so. I don't think they didn't. He didn't join them in enough time frame for them to do a full-on scan of him to put him in the game and everything. So chances are, no, I don't think so, and nor do I care. To be perfectly honest with you, WWE 2K22 is going to be the last wrestling game I ever buy from WWE. I have looked at this roster, played it for the last couple of weeks or months, I should say. I like playing the superstar mode on universe mode. It makes the universe mode move along very quickly. I focus on one superstar week after week, play like 4 matches, and then I'm at a pay-per-view. And then I can just do the entire pay-per-view card by switching back to the classic mode of universe mode. At that point, I just play all the matches and then move on to the next show, going back to the original character I was playing and going through those weeks until I get to the next pay-per-view, and then I play all the matches on the pay-per-view. That's what I basically have been doing. It makes it go by very quickly. I also enjoy my faction. I've been trying to do a little bit of the matches and so forth. They do take a little bit of time to do, especially on Hall of Fame mode when you're trying to get all the rewards from that. So it does take a lot of time to do. And then on top of that, I've done the GM mode with the added on addition of the tag team titles. That is a cool deal, and they add a 4th match to the card. But at the end of the day, guys, you look at the roster and you just look at it, and all the guys that are on there are gone. That's number one. Number two, the current roster that we have that's in this game, half of them are fucking a joke, and I would never use them in my universe mode, GM mode, or anything else for that matter. I mean, there's good things about WWE 2K22 and there's some bad things about 2K22. I'm still seeing a lot of the same things that I saw in 2K20, but they've been patched up a little bit more. They're not as noticeable, but they're still, like, who gives a shit type of thing, you know? They've taken away promos out of universe mode. It's absolute bullshit. I don't know why they took away universe mode so that you could do a promo where a guy switches from a face to a heel or a heel to a face. That's ridiculous. So you got to manually change the character from a heel to a face or vice versa to get what you want in your universe mode. That's fucking ridiculous. Unless you put two heels together and hope and pray the computer, based on storyline progressions, allows the heel character that you want to change face. That's retarded. The storylines built in these games are the same what you see on television. Repetitive matches. Nonstop. Same fucking match over and over again. Different ways of doing it. You have a tag team rivalry. They do singles competition between the two tag teams. It's the same exact thing you see on television every fucking week. I don't know how anybody actually can sit through these shows and not feel like they're becoming stupid. But there's fans out there, millions of them, close to 2 million, that still watch this shit and praise it. I don't know if you guys watched JD from New York's 206 Off the Script episode on Saturday that was 3 hours long almost. But there was a portion, a segment in his show where he read off a hate mail from a fan who loves Becky Lynch and called him every name under the sun. Said he was a piece of crap, that his parents shouldn't child as a 40-year-old, and they think he's a piece of garbage. And this is what this is the fans, WWE fans act like. Now, Rachel Buck, you guys all know Rachel Buck. She sometimes shows up in the chat. Apparently today she didn't show up, but she's very respectable. She's a WWE fan, but she is respectable to me. And I appreciate that. Whether or not her and I agree on our viewpoint about WWE, she's respectful to me. She's not mean. She's not saying for me to go die. I had one guy go ahead and comment about Goldberg, and he said, I'm a fucking moron. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I should shut the fuck up. Why? Why should I shut up about a 50-year-old plus man who can't go in a ring for 10 minutes plus? You got Edge, who's 51 years old, and he's given us some good matches since he's returned back from injury. And that's been almost 10 years. And gave us good matches. What excuse does Goldberg have? I know what it is. He's out of shape. He's not in it to really do what is necessary to make the match important. He's there to collect a buck. That's it. A check. And that's not that wasn't something that people are gonna appreciate. People aren't gonna care to see Goldberg do 2-minute matches. I know I'm not. I hate it. I think it's shit. Anyway, Matt87 Eagles stated that it was on Sunday. My apologies. I thought it was on Saturday. Off the script for JD this past weekend. And Matt87 Eagles says these crazy stands are just the worst. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. And I had a great laugh. I mean, I thought it was fucking hilarious that this psychopath goes on a rampage with JD, and yet she praises Solomonster. Solomonster is a guy who is not pro WWE at all. He hates the fucking product. He states it in his reviews. I've heard him talk about it in the past. No, he's not energetic. He doesn't talk like talk real loud, scream to the top of his lungs about something he doesn't like. But he is honest about the fact that the company sucks. And he says that they don't do right by the fans. So, and these two guys are actually professionals. They both are friends. They both know each other. And she's praising Solomonster, but yet saying that JD's a fucking piece of crap, unprofessional douchebag. Okay, he's an unprofessional douchebag who has over 131,000 subscribers. He's unprofessional, sure. He's making money hand over fist, and this moron's leaving an email that's almost 4 pages long talking about how of a crappy human being he is. Goes to show you, folks, that people do not have a fucking life. And if something you don't like, then don't look at it. He does that for a living. That's why he watches it. He needs to earn a living doing what he does. And he doesn't have to kiss WWE's ass. If I was doing this for a living, if I was able to quit my job and make a living off of this, I would do the same thing he's doing. I've been doing it before he even got big. I've been shitting on this WWE product since 2015, folks. I stopped watching the WWE main roster. Well, I watched it, but I never reviewed the fucking WWE main roster on a weekly basis. And bottom line, guys, I just couldn't. It was terrible. But my goodness, when I look back on it now, compare it to today, I'm just like, boy, was I being really ungrateful. I mean, I really can go back and watch 2015 wrestling from WWE. I mean, their shows were way better than this. And they were still fucking cheesy and lame. But now, man, they take it to a whole nother fucking level. They just want us to eat it, suck it up, and say, yes, sir, can I have some more? No, I'm not going to have more grovel shit that came out of your ass, Vince. Give me what you used to produce, something that you showed you cared. You don't care. That's why people complain about your product. That's why in 2014 and 2015 Royal Rumbles, people were shitting on you and your booking decisions. That was the turning point in the fans by WWE. That's all there is to it. Plain and simple, guys. But anyway, that's all I have to say at this time, guys. I know I've went over an hour. Usually I finish at 1 hour. But anyway, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And as always, leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.